I'm not a believer in static formations, but just to have a reference, here they are. 5-3-2 for both teams. With no pressure on the ball, Russia direct attacks with a 5v5. But what's more important is the positioning of the two center mids, Golovin and Glushakov. Let's see if they follow the play and how useful they become. Golovin does a great job in preventing left back Sirkov to cross, so this is when Golovin is needed as support. With space to shoot, Golovin takes a long shot. Also, the strikers are already in the box and run for the second ball. Outswinging corner from Russia. Notice how New Zealand leaves the far post free. This is something Russia learns here and will take advantage throughout the game. Here we can see the same direct attacking style from Russia. They pass the ball around, drawing in some New Zealand players. Then, in this case, they play with the last center back who is positioned deep in order to have time and space for the long ball. Both teams here are well positioned. New Zealand has plenty of men to take care of the knockdown pass, and Russia has Polos for the knockdown prolongation pass and Erokin for the second ball. But Russia has one more weapon which at first doesn't seem dangerous. Sañudo will be the outside option if needed, which equals to time and space since New Zealand is taking care of the danger in the central zone. Let's look at Polos' movement. Notice how Polos always stays in the blind side, while knowing that Sañudo will be the one in possession. Russia throw-in in the opposition's half. First option, drive down the line. If it doesn't work and Russia gains back possession facing their own goal, play again to a deep defender with time and space for the long ball. Kudyashov drags some New Zealand opponents to the ball, and before getting pressured, he takes a long ball. Here we can see a beautiful breakaway from Polos. Here Polos starts to break away on the blind side of his direct opponent, waiting for a flick on, knockdown, or even a loose ball, which in this case is what happens. Here we can see New Zealand high defensive line due to their principle of staying compact between lines and the overload in the ball zone. The problem with this is that after gaining back possession, New Zealand finds themselves all together in the same place. Now look how there is no smart creation and movement for new passing angles. Now New Zealand has a high defensive line without anyone pressing the opponent in possession. This means Russia has a huge space to break away into, while the player in possession has time and space for the through pass. Here New Zealand gets lucky because Smolov started to break away one step before the pass was made and is caught offside. Notice how Akinfeev, Russia's keeper, tells the whole team to shift to the right and get compact to where the ball is going to land. Here Rojas gains the ball back after the knockdown. He's facing his own goal, but all of his support is being closed down by Russian players. Here the first mistake was from Rojas by playing deep to his right back instead of playing wide for his right back to run into that open space. Now the second mistake is Colby cutting to the inside where Russia has 3 players. The irony is that now Rojas is showing Colby to play wide outside. Great anticipation from Smolov, an amazing flick from Polos. Same attacking style from Russia, but now instead of going 5v5, since they're up for 1 goal, they only send the 2 strikers and the right back Sañudo against the 5-man defensive line. Still, Russia is proactive and their midfielders go for the second ball knockdown zone. Look at the amazing breakaway from Smolov, which in my opinion was the man of the match. He dragged, blindsided, created gaps, found passing angles throughout the game against New Zealand defenders every single time Russia attacked. Same direct attack with Russia winning the second ball on the knockdown. Here Smolov creates a 2v1 with a great overlap. But take a look at Polos. Instead of being as high as he can, he swapped with the 2 midfielders Golovin and Erokhin. Look at Polos' blindside run. Free kick for New Zealand. There's a transition from attack to defense. Let's see how New Zealand defends the counter-attack. Let's follow Golovin run in the moment now that Russia decides to counter-attack under transition from defense to attack. Let's also follow the 2 opponents, which will leave Golovin completely alone because they are dragged by the ball's position. Here Golovin receives in the center of the pitch completely open. Look where the 2 opponents are, which originally started in the same place where Golovin was. Now let's follow Thomas, that from here he stops only looking at the ball and recovers tracking the opponent on the far post and the ball at the same time. Here we can see New Zealand broken balance. Smolov first dropped to receive between lines without anyone inflicting pressure. He's able to turn and then after turning he gets pressured. Meanwhile, Durante is leaving onside Russia's striker Burkharov, even though Smolov is being pressured at the moment. Now is the time to drop back since Smolov has open space in front of him. Let's follow Smolov blind side run. Here we can see one of the few weapons New Zealand showed during the game, the Iceland throw-in cross. Extremely important to leave a deep man for the second ball, almost ended in a goal. Here we can see the importance of leaving a man in the front and far post. Here we can see it again, but this time with Russia knowing that New Zealand doesn't apply it. Goes for a near post flick knowing that the far post is not covered. Russia almost scores again. That's all the highlights of the game. Thanks for watching. Please remember that I'm not analyzing the game model of each team. I'm just analyzing the highlights of the game. Thanks for watching again.